And now let's wrap up our design thinking notebook by adding a place for reflection. So here I will add a new sheet. So not a new form, but a new sheet. Delete the data table, double click on the tab, and I will call this reflection. And perhaps the emoji that I will use is a notebook. Now, in upper school science, we absolutely would have our students write a formal scientific conclusion. And in order to add a text box, I would tap on the plus sign, select shapes, and here is the text box. So students could begin typing and writing their reflection or their conclusion, just like they would in any science classroom. Now, if I was maybe teaching a different level of science, or maybe I want this to be a quick reflection because our students are going to move on to a second and a third iteration of their design, then I might want the reflection to be actually an audio recording, in which case I could still tap on the plus sign, but tap over to media, and here I see record audio. Once I tap on record audio, the iPad is ready to record some audio information from our young scientists. So in order to do that, they would tap on record at the bottom center of the screen. The first build of my airplane was relatively good in the sense that my overall horizontal displacement was greater than the class average. For iteration 2, I believe I will try a different design that should result in greater upward force from air resistance, hopefully lengthening the time of flight and essentially the horizontal displacement. If our students were satisfied with this audio, then they would select Insert in the top right. They can also preview their audio by tapping Preview in the bottom left. But I think that this reflection is pretty good for us, so I will select Insert, and there you see our audio button. In upper school science, where we wouldn't necessarily have them doing an audio conclusion, I'm really excited to try these audio notes in the trials. Because what I found is that when my students start to write their conclusion, which can honestly be a few days after the lab has been completed, they've forgotten some of the observations and nuances to the lab execution. So if students are leaving themselves these audio notes in each trial, then they have a footprint of where they've been in their thought process. And so they can use that to reflect before they write their final conclusion.